It's the radio guy, Mike Prince. Welcome to the Sunday night edition of the Mike Prince Show. Seemed like we've been off a long time. We took last week off because of Resurrection Sunday. And man, a lot has transpired since then. We have a new soccer champion for the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Congratulations, Alabama State. Victorious over Grambling. Almost had a Pantherific weekend in softball and baseball. Texas Southern was in town. Softball was able to win that series 2-1, while baseball dropped the series 1-2, losing in the rubber match on today 14-4. Jackson State continues to stay hot on the baseball diamond. Grambling fell short to Southern. Southern was able to salvage that sweep. And we have a new edition of the NFL coming to the HBCU. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more. We got scheduled on the show today Coach Connell Maynor of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, coming off the fresh win over Jackson State on yesterday. And we'll hear from football coach Eric Dooley of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers as they get ready for a showdown this week with Arkansas at Pine Bluff. So a whole lot to get going. So put on your seatbelt and let's hold on real tight for the fastest hour in talk radio. The Mike Prince Show, Sunday night live edition. Well, once again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And it has been a very fast fever pitch weekend. Alabama State comes to Prairie View, Texas, and walk away as the champions in the world of soccer. Victorious over Grambling State, the number 1 and number 2 seed. So pretty much as expected, unless you're a PV Panther fan. You're hoping that you could have had your school represent, especially in their own pit. But nonetheless, congratulations to the Hornets. And Jackson State, since we're talking about the Hornets, they complete the sweep over Alabama State in baseball today. 4-2 was the final score. And there is just no other team that is as hot as the Omar Johnson-led Jackson State Tigers. They are taking care of business. And this is nothing new. As we've been on record for saying, Omar Johnson has always done a fantastic job, an outstanding job with Jackson State. But their challenges come in the postseason. And so we're going to keep a very close monitor on that to see how they prevail from that. And in the western side of things, Grambling State sitting on top. A similar story with them and Coach Cooper. They always start off extremely strong on the first half, but then they kind of limp into the tournament as well. So two teams that are having great success as we initiate the second half of the baseball season in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and we'll see exactly how all this will pan itself out. Meanwhile, Prairie View continue to try to figure out the juggernaut that is east of us off of High 290 in the likes of Texas Southern. With Texas Southern winning this game, the rubber match on today, 14-4, they now have a commanding finish mark for the season over Prairie View in the series, unless they meet again in the tournament this season for the 2021 campaign of the Southwestern Athletic Conference baseball tournament. The win makes Texas Southern 5-1. this season against the Panthers. And the Panthers continue to try to figure out how to get over that Texas Southern hump. Meanwhile, the Western Division is led by Grambling, as we mentioned. Southern in a second spot, or the second spot. Texas Southern in the number 3 spot. Now, part of the concerning factor with Prairie View's situation, they're behind. They have 2 games to make up with Pine Bluff, and you don't want to get into a situation to where games get omitted and you have to be relying on formulas and everything like that. So it could be very, very concerning. But we'll talk about that a little bit more. We got to get ready for this football, and our first guest of tonight's show, Coach Connell Maynor of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. They really had, I'm going to say, a comfortable ride dealing with Jackson State on yesterday. It wasn't as close as the score would indicate. I'll just put it like that. But we'll hear from him and see how he saw some things coming from the backside. But what we got to do right now, we got to get ready to take us a break. And when we come back, we'll have, hopefully, on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline, head football coach of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, and that is none other than Connell Maynor, and talk about the day that was for his mighty, mighty Bulldogs. I got to get myself situated, get people on the lines, and do all the things we got to do. So you guys sit tight, and we'll be right back. Reflections Paint and Auto Body Shop, located in Waller, Texas, is ready to restore the beauty of your automobile. Whether it's a small dent or a major accident, if your vehicle needs auto body repair, check out Reflections Paint and Body Shop. All repairs are completed by highly skilled and trained professionals. They are located at 2910 Waller Street in Waller, Texas. And just in case you can't get it in to them, they provide towing services. Call them today, 936-931-5780. That number again, 936-931-5780. Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union has 13 different locations to better serve you. Locations in Rosenberg, Missouri City, Katy, College Station, Bryan, Brenham, and Waller, Texas. For more information, you can contact them on their toll-free number, 855-391-2149. Or you can send an email to information@bvscu.org. Let's face it, from time to time, we'll have a need for an attorney, whether it's the case of a DUI, DWI, or any other circumstances that would find you on the other side of the law. Attorney Lee Van Richardson, located at 1047 Austin Street, is the one to call. Attorney Lee Van Richardson and his staff are equipped to help you get through your legal battles. Attorney Lee Van Richardson, 979-826-8008 in Hempstead, Texas.
This broadcast has been made possible by the support of the Prairie View Athletic Club. The Prairie View Athletic Club is a proud supporter of Prairie View A&M University athletics. For more information on becoming a member of the Prairie View Athletic Club, send your email to pvathletic.club@gmail.com. That email address again is pvathletic.club@gmail.com. Prairie View Athletic Club, a proud supporter of Prairie View A&M University athletics.
Have sports, will travel. The Open Mic Broadcast Network serving student athletes from Little League, high school, and collegiate coverage right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. From coast to coast, from dusk till dawn. You can catch all student athletic action right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network
The station designed with you in mind. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of student athletics.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Sunday Night Live edition of the Mike Prince Show. We're going over now to the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline, and we're going to present to some and introduce to others the head football coach of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, coming off the victory over Jackson State, Coach Connell Maynor. How you doing, Coach, and welcome back to the show. Yes, sir. Well is the fact, and as I say, that's kind of an understatement of game and a big, what I would say, victory for you guys. And if you could, give us a quick recap on it, Coach, on how everything went for you. Okay, so the missed tackles from the layoff and everything, and we had a little technical challenge there, so I'm sorry about that. But you're saying the layoff was kind of showing up, and I guess when you look at some of the big plays that you allowed, and you say could have been some of the layoff and missed tackles, this, that, and everything, that had to be a little bit frustrating for you watching it unfold. But to see how these guys recover and rebound compared to a team that had, a month and a half of games under their belt, you had to be pleased with overall performance, though.
Some of the credit, too, they had some big receivers that can break tackles, that make you miss. So you got to take your hats off to those guys for executing, too. But at the end of the day, we did make some tackles that we had opportunities to make. And I contribute that to a little bit of rust of us not hitting and not getting live game action. So we get that cleaned up, as long as we be in position. Like I said, we gave it one long pass. Other than that, it was a lot of short passes and missed tackles. Even in the running game, we missed some tackles and had some bad fits where we fitted up, but then just got cut right up under us, and we don't touch them. So we'll get that fixed.
Well, speaking of passing, which was a beautiful segue, I might add, which lets me know you're not a novice on this thing. You got a grown man for a quarterback, so that's all I can say. This dude was absolutely phenomenal on yesterday, and I know we hear the accolades of him, and this was one of those pieces that you inherited when you came over to it, but because of your quarterbacking pedigree and background, you were able to even add to this young legacy that has got a bright future right now. How do you explain his overall performance?
Oh, you saw it. You said it, man. It was unbelievable. It was a great performance. I think he was 27 for 40, 460 yards, 6 touchdown passes, and I think he had 3 or 4 drops. And then he had about 2 or 3 bad decisions that he made. Right after the play, he was like, "Yeah, it's my fault. I shouldn't have went there. I should have went here." But if you watch the game, you could see that he was just so comfortable out there. It was like a man amongst boys. He was calm, cool, collective, knew exactly where he was going. He looked one way, didn't have what he wanted. He turned right back and fired, and we got a wide open guy right on the money, right in stride. And he just made it look easy yesterday.
Yeah, it made it look easy, but you know what? Hard work pays off. And when people are not seeing the extra time that you're putting in the film room, the extra time you're putting in the gym, the extra time that you're putting in pass routes, because I was thoroughly impressed not only with his performance, but with the receiving core and how everything was just like on automatic, man. It didn't seem like in certain flashes that you guys had been off as long as you were.
Yeah, offensively, it didn't look like we missed a beat. But, when you got a quarterback like Aquil Glass, who's a seasoned vet, and the receivers that we got, I've been saying it all year, we're six deep at wide receiver, and we take our chances with any six of those against any one of your guys. I've been saying it all year, and now guys see what I'm talking about. Well, those guys can flat out play, man.
No doubt.
And
no doubt.
Can give them the ball.
No doubt. And I'm a defensive guy. I appreciate defense because defense is what wins championships. But when you watch the routes that these guys were going and the fearlessness that they had in completing their routes and going up for balls, it was a work of art, man. And I have to tip my hat. I don't normally give you offensive guys much credit, but that was a work of art watching those guys perform on yesterday.
Thank you.
So we're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline right now with Coach Connell Maynor. We do apologize. We had a slight interruption on my part. It wasn't Coach's part. He came prepared, ready to go. And this is a game. It was a big game, but it's not as big as the next game. That's literally and figuratively. You got a huge game coming up this week against Alabama State. All the marbles are on the pile right now. This game, and if you allow me to say it like this, Coach, is the first game of significance with this matchup in a long time. And what is the focus and the preparation for you and your squad as you move forward this week?
Well, it's all the same. We take it 1 week at a time, and last week was the biggest game of the season because it was the next game. Now this is the biggest game of the season because it's the next game. But this is not the first game. This is the first time the Magic City Classic has been significant for both teams, not us. Last year was significant for us also because we had to win that game in order to have a chance to go to Alcorn and beat them at the end of the season and get to the SWAC championship, which we had an opportunity last year. So last year Magic City Classic meant something to us too because it kept us alive with the opportunity to go and represent our side. All we had to do was beat Alcorn, which we came up just short last year. So, this game has a lot for both teams. Both programs have a chance to represent our side and play in the SWAC championship game with a win this week. So, last week was big for us and Jackson because it kept us alive and it kept them. And if they would have won, they would have still been alive for the championship also because they only had one loss themselves, and that was to Alabama State. So if they could have beat us somehow last week and then we beat Alabama State, it would have been a three-way tie. And then they would have had to go through some other alternatives to determine the champ, which I don't know the format of that right now. But so they were still alive until this week, and Alabama State is still alive, and we're still alive, and the winner of this game is going to represent our side in the championship game.
Absolutely. Now, Coach, we know that 90% of coaching is mental. It's mental because you wouldn't have the guys on your program, on your roster, if they didn't have what you thought as the physical attributes to help you win games. How challenging will it be for you to have your guys come back down to Mother Earth, put this Jackson State game behind them, focus on this huge game from both sides that you just alluded to not try to overdo, what has been a formula of success?
Well, we just stay down to earth. We respect all, fear none. But we go into the game expecting to win the football game. We go in expecting to play well. We always say we got it from Russell Wilson. There's separation is in the preparation. So you have to be prepared. That's why Will Glass played the way he did. He's prepared, man. He knows what he's doing. He knows what defense he's looking at. He knows what offensive play we got. He knows what side of the field to look at first. And he knows if that's covered. He knows to come back and what's going to be wide open. And we tell him all the time that separation is in the preparation. So if you're prepared, you know exactly what you're doing. The game is going to slow down. It's going to be easy. And that's where Aquil were. And that's where we try to get all our players to that point. That's what my job is, to get our players to understand the game the way we understand the game. We can look out there and know exactly where the ball should go before the snap. We got to have our receivers understanding that and our quarterbacks understanding that, and that's when your team become a great football team.
Absolutely. We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline with Coach Connell Maynor of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, victorious over Jackson State by the score of 52-43. I'm going to say this, Coach, you don't even have to respond to it. The score appeared to be closer than what I witnessed unfold yesterday, but that's part of it. And when you look at it, and we talked about the exceptional talent that you have in a glass, and as we mentioned, he was here when you got there, or he was there when you got there. How, sometimes from outside looking in, coaches will get full of testosterone and will say, well, that wasn't my guy. I want to get my guy in. Did you ever have that cross your mind, or did you say, you know what, this dude is good, we're going to help make him better, and you just started adding to his arsenal to get what you have right now?
You know what? Right now with APR, you can't just come in and do an overhaul on your lineup. You got APR issues, so you just can't come in and get rid of everybody and sign all these kids. I couldn't just, I'm going to get rid of you, I'll bring all my players in. I'm going to get rid of you, bring all my players in. No, we got APR. If I did that, then we'll be on the sanctions where we couldn't practice spring ball, lose scholarships, and not eligible to compete for a championship. So you got to take what you got and work with it, build it, remold it, teach them your way of doing things, the way you read, and develop those guys. And that's what we got to do a lot of times at our level. We're not able to get all the 4 and 5 stars, 3 stars all the time. The guys is already, the Derrick Henrys that's already 230 pounds, run a 4.3, and you ain't got to coach these guys. Just give them the ball. So we get the guys that's not the 3 or 4 stars that you got to coach up. You got to develop. They need a year in your weight program or 2 in your weight program and learn the system and teach them how to play the game and read defenses and things of that nature. That's what we have to do. We have to develop players at this level. You don't have to develop 5 stars. They already got the body. They already run and look the part. You already got the 6'6", 330-pound offensive lineman with no fat. You already got him. So we have to work hard at this level, man, and developing our players, and we take pride in doing that. The thing I say about people that say, well, that one your player. Okay, well, thank you for the compliment, because what did the coach before me do with him? Okay, so if I took the same kids from last year and they didn't have a winning record, now I got a winning record, what's that say about me?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's what I say to all the people. Say, well, them ain't your players. You want somebody else's players. Well, did they win with them? So what's the problem then? Evidently, it was coaching, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you got to chalk it up to some. They say I'd rather be lucky than good, and then there's nothing wrong with being both of them.
Right. I mean, come on.
I do understand.
You can't tell an NBA coach to take the Charlotte Hornets next year and go win the championship and say, hey, man, them one of your players. Okay, well, what did the other coach do with him? Absolutely. I took the same players he had. They was 500. I took him one championship. So what does that mean? That means I'm a better coach than him. You're as they say, shots fired, coach. I didn't mean to stir up your hornets. I'm just saying. That it don't have to be me. It could be anybody. Like I said, it could be Charlotte Hornets. And I ain't say A&M. I said Charlotte Hornets. So the guy to come in and take the Charlotte Hornets next year and win the NBA championship, you're gonna say, oh, you won it, but you won it with somebody else's players. Well, did they win it with the players?
Right.
I mean, evidently that guy did a better job of coaching those players
and prepping them for the game days. You just opened up a thought for me, Coach, and I'm going to ask you this. I'm not sure if you're aware of the latest whispers, and I'm just got some confirmation this evening that Eddie George is going to be named as the head football coach at Tennessee State. Okay, and that's another NFL splash coming into the world of HBCU. As a coach who's been in this game, and you just said how hard it is that these guys work, a lot of quality coaches that are coming in, how do you keep a young OC, a young DC, a young coach trying to work their way up through the system encouraged when they're seeing the latest grab and stash deals coming in? Is that something that you take as a personal challenge to overcome and help mentor young men under your tutelage in particular?
Of course. We've been talking about this, and what Coach Sanders has done is great for our league, Jackson State, HBCUs. I think Jackson State has a training table now, which they didn't have a training table before. And so that's great because that's what the Power Fives have. They have training tables. We don't have a training table. And I don't know how many other schools in our conference have a training table, but, he changed it for them, but he hasn't changed for all the HBCUs. We got some more national coverage. We haven't played on ESPN1, and we've played on ESPN1 the last 2 weeks. Well, we played on ESPN3, and, a lot of it has to do with Coach Sanders, but a lot of it has to do with us playing in the spring. We're not going against Power Fives because if the Power Fives are playing, they're not going to put us on in front of Texas, Clemson, Alabama, LSU, Notre Dame, okay? So we're getting a lot of this attention because we're playing in the spring, okay? So he's done an excellent job with the coach and everything that he's doing. But at the end of the day, Jackson State is 3-3. Okay, they're out of the race right now with Coach Sanders. So it's the coaches that was here before that still have an opportunity to win championships.
Yes, sir.
So do your homework, hire the best guy for the job. Okay, because we got a lot of young coaches, coordinators in this league and other leagues that deserve an opportunity to be a head football coach. Because just 10 years ago, I was one of those guys at 42 that had been a coordinator and put up good stats, and I got an opportunity to be a head football coach, and look what I did with it. But if you don't give these guys the opportunity, you're just going to go hire all ex-NFL players with big names that haven't coached, then you're doing a game of justice, in my opinion. Okay? That's my opinion.
Yes, sir.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But right now, Jackson's not on top. We'll see what Eddie George can do at Tennessee State. He might be turning around. He may not. If he don't turn around and Deion don't turn Jackson around, then they might say that's not the way to go. And they might come back and start hiring these young coordinators that deserve opportunity. I don't know what they're going to do. It probably depends on how well these two guys do as head football coaches.
Okay. Now, with the proximity that you are from Tennessee State, does that even increase the opportunity of trying to get a non-conference game scheduled with them, or had that been something that you would be looking at if this were not the case of Eddie George coming to the fold?
I've been talking to Tennessee State. I called them a couple of times, and they say they booked up for the next 3 or 4 years. I tried to call them to play. I would love to renew that rivalry. I think that'd be great for our fans, their fans, and the state, and it'd just be a great football game, HBCU, And I reached out to those guys to see what they had. I know Coach Rod. So, of course, he's out now, but I know him, and I reached out to him and his AD about playing them before because I wanted to bring that game back. I don't like playing cupcakes. I want to play competition. Iron sharpens iron. I want to see where my team is. Okay, I want to see where my team is. Nothing personal, but Jackson State got off to a good start this year, but they beat Evan Waters, an NAIA football team. They beat Mississippi Valley, who's been down in the past. It's coming back now. They're a lot more competitive now. Coach Jordan's a great job. They beat Grambling late in the game when Grambling had the opportunity to win that game, and Grambling is down this year. Bob's admitted that himself that they're down. So they was 3-0 riding high. But when you look at it, I look at who we played and who we beat and what's their record and things of that nature to see where my team is. So I don't like to play those type games. I like to play good competition. Okay, and so they got off to a good start, 3-0, but now they're 3-3 because they played Southern, us, and Alabama State.
Uh-huh.
Right. So it's competition level too. You got to look at all of that when you play. You don't just look at your win or your loss. I mean, we played Cincinnati. Okay, we got a head beating. We're supposed to. We played Cincinnati. Okay, we played Evan Waters. We beat them 45-0. We were supposed to. It's Evan Waters, the NAIA. They probably got 15 scholarships. You're supposed to do that. And so that's the things I say when I grade a player, Edwin Waters or a D2 team. I say, look, we got more scholarships than them. We got more bullets than them. We're supposed to beat them. Okay? We're supposed to beat them. And so when we beat them, I tell my team, look, we were supposed to do that. That's what we were supposed to do. Now, if it's close, hey, guess what? We got some work to do because that's a D2 program. We have the scholarships that we got, and we only beat them by 10 points. You know,
sir.
So that's how I judge things. That's how I look at it and put in perspective to my coaches and my players to understand that, look, we didn't do anything. So it's how am I going to get my team ready to play this week? Because we haven't done anything. We haven't won our division. We haven't won the SWAC championship. We're not in the playoffs. We haven't done anything. We won 2 football games, and we got one from a forfeit. So right now, if we lose, we don't have anything. So it's not going to be hard for me to get my players fired up to play this week because they already understand that we haven't accomplished anything yet.
Well, Coach, it already sounds like you got your motivation pieces all together, and all they got to do is follow the assignments, and it looks like that you'll be at that winner's circle again. But I got to wish you the best of luck, and I want to thank you for joining in with us. Man, I have to probably book you for an hour show by yourself, man, because I get excited every time I talk to you, and you're full of information and passion, and it's a breath of fresh air to have you part of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. You got any closing thoughts and comments before we shut it down on this segment, Coach?
I don't. Thanks for having me, man. I do it anytime, and y'all know me, man. I keep it real. You know, I'm going to tell you like the TI is. It might piss some people off, and it might not, but that ain't my job. You know, if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you my answer. Nobody says my answer is right. It's my answer. So I don't care if somebody don't like it or somebody do like it. It's my answer. Okay? Nobody said I was right. I'm just telling you my opinion. I'm one person. So don't take it personal. If you don't like something I said, deal with it. That's life. Okay? No matter what you do in life, somebody's going to like it. Somebody's not going to like it. I can't worry about that because half the people that don't like what I say, half of them I don't know, and the other half I don't care.
Hey, on that note, Coach, I would say God bless, good night, good luck on this week, man, and we'll talk to you real soon, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you. God bless you, man.
All right, Coach Connell Maynor, telling it like it TI is. I got to take a break. Man, you got to love that. We'll be right back. We're going to have Coach Eric Dooley on the line with us. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show, Sunday Night Live. Keep it where you got it. We'll be right back.
Be the one with courage to fight child abuse.
All Texans must find the courage to fight child abuse.
Learn the signs and symptoms and report suspected abuse to appropriate authorities.
Learn and know these warning signs.
A child who undergoes changes in behavior, appetite, or routine.
Watch for unexplained injuries, a change in academic performance, or loss of interest by a child in regular activities.
Trust your instincts. If you suspect something, do something.
If you believe a child is in an abusive situation, please call the Texas Abuse Hotline at 1-800-252-5400.
Be the one with courage. To find your local Children's Advocacy Center, visit onewithcourage.org.
On behalf of children, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris, can you put the video game controller down for a second?
I can talk and play. Oh, I'm totally annihilating this punk kid in Nebraska.
I just feel like you're not acting like a grown-up in our relationship.
Him too.
Well, you know, you still ride your skateboard to work, there's the comic book collection, the race car bed.
Look, I'm young at heart, but I put money into my 401k every paycheck. I picked up a few savings tips at feedthepig.org. I have control of my financial life now, and that feels pretty grown up.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. For free ideas and easy tips on ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
So, I bet I look like a grown-up to you now.
Well, except for the footy pajamas, I'd have to agree.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Programming updates for the Open Mic Broadcast Network. You can listen to the Mike Prince Show each and every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can also listen to the Mike Prince Show live on Sunday evenings, 6 p.m.
to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Carlos Brown Show is featured on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Join us for our live sermons from the Temple of Refuge Ministries, Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, by dialing 857-777-0000. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, serving the community through faith and athletics. Is SWAC Sunday baseball coverage exclusively on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Join us each week during the regular season of the Southwest Athletic Conference as we bring you exclusive SWAC baseball coverage. You can join in by dialing 857-777-0000 or by dialing 857-777-0004. SWAC Baseball Sunday afternoon broadcast exclusively on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show Sunday Night Live edition. We're going back to the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline, and if you just missed the last segment, OMG is all I can say. We're going to now allow the football coach of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers to come on board with us, and that is none other than Coach Eric Dooley. How you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing well, and good evening to all the Panther fans.
Well, look, Coach, you've got a hard act to follow, sir. Coach Connell Maynor, all I can say is we're picking up the furniture pieces that were shook up in the house. He just laid it out there, told us how he felt about the overall situation, about the latest and the greatest going on. And I'm not going to even dare ask you that because it's time to get back focused into the camp of things. It's good to be back practicing and getting some football games, at least for the forecast now ahead of us down for this week coming up.
Absolutely. It's always exciting when those young men get a chance to get out there and fly around and play some exciting football. But we've been practicing for the last 2 weeks. I feel good where we are. I understand the whole pandemic situation. Our biggest motto this year here, just stay ready so we don't have to ever get ready. Absolutely.
Now, with the additional 2 weeks off, how do you look at this as a pro and a con? The plus and the minuses. I know the fact that you're not able to actually get any games in, but what can you do to use this as an advantage point?
Well, when you always have weeks off, you always try to get healthy. That's always the biggest asset. But, the way we practice and the way we fly around and practice, we're always at game tempo. So I never worry about us getting any type of game speed. The way we love to practice, the way we fly around, the way we, do things. So I feel good about where we are. And we had an opportunity to tap it around a little yesterday as far as more like a game type situation. So those guys they've been business like the whole year. They understand the deal that we have to deal with, and we just whatever hand we dealt, we play it.
Absolutely. Now, Coach, when you look at this thing, you're in a very good position right now, and the monumental rewards of winning this game coming up against the Golden Lions is really going to be critical from both sides of the sideline. What is it that you tell your players in particular, guys who are at the verge of really tapping into something great, how to keep their composure and how to stay focused and let the main thing be the main thing?
Well, we coach our guys that every game is a big game. It doesn't matter who we play. When we step on the field, we got a duty to take care of. They got Panther fans that like to see us play, so we got to play accordingly. And our biggest thing is, and we've been going ever since I've been here, and no disrespect to anyone. The only reason why it's a big game because it's the next game. And that's our approach that we take. No matter who it is, we understand opponents, we understand situations. But when it's our time to play, we just got to play football for 60 minutes. It doesn't matter what the significant other thing may have to be, whether it's a big game or, in a lot of people's eyes, every time we step on that field, it's big for us.
Absolutely. Now, Coach, you use that coach's cliche, the next game is the biggest game because it's the next game. And we heard Coach Connell Maynor say that before. But come on, Coach, some games have a little bit more of the engine revved up than others. You can at least admit that, right?
Always, always. But my thing is my engine never go down. So with my engine never going down, it's always a big game for us. And that's the way I got my players. I want the players to take the attitude of me. Our engine never going to go down. Our thing is don't turn the lights off. You'll never have to turn them on. Just keep the lights on.
Okay, very good. Now, Coach, is there such thing that when those certain games come into your view that because of the human side of us, we'll have a tendency sometimes to maybe overthink, overanalyze, overcoach, and sometimes put yourself in more harm's way than if you just kind of take a woosah moment, if you would, and gradually build up into that thing?
That's why that cliche is so big. That's why that cliche is so big, because you don't want the kids to feel you getting uptight and getting big and things like that. We're always going to be loose. We're always going to have fun in practice. We're always going to play hard. We're always going to play physical and smart. So the things that we try to coach our young men to do, and I know that they've been doing a great job, that when we step on that field, it doesn't matter who it is, what the situation is. They come to see Prairie View. We got to play football.
Absolutely. Look, they come to see Prairie View, and then the opposing team come to beat Prairie View. And when you look at it, and the bottom line is about executing on the field, because you can have the best preparation, as Mike Tyson said, you can have the best game plan until you get hit in the mouth and all of it goes out the window. When it comes, we know the physical part that comes with this, and I was referring in the last segment that really coaching is about 90% mental, because these guys have the physical capabilities or they wouldn't be on your program. What's the greatest hurdle in today's student athlete that you got to get that message through to them?
It's always the mindset, and I hop on everything. We had a great example to go before us a week. Gonzaga was the number one team, been the number one team the whole year, have not lost a game. Of course, Bill have been playing some exciting basketball, but you still got to go against the top team in the country that's been number one, that has not tasted defeat. That had nothing to do with Baylor. Baylor had to play a game. Baylor had to play a game, and they took care of business, and that's the way we have to operate. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. We know what is at stake for us, and we always we always play on the edge, even in practice. So we understand that situation right there, that when we go into this game right here, I wouldn't dare call a team name, but if we were playing X and X and they hadn't won a game, it's a big game for us because we got to come after them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you got to prove to the rest of them that you're just as dominant as the other ones that's got them in the winless circle. So it's a little pressure on both sides. We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline right now with head football coach of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, Coach Eric Dooley. Huge game coming up this week, taking on the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. 3-0 in the division. Panthers coming in at 2-0 in the division. And with this spring COVID attack that we've been dealing with, this game could possibly set up a slight reshuffle, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But let's focus on the issue at hand right now, the Golden Lions. They haven't had the success that they've had since you were on staff there, Coach. And I know you don't want to say that I was back then. This is now. It's a different program, different set of circumstances. But there are some significant ties to that. And what is the approach that you're looking at as you prepare for this week's opponent?
Well, we of course, we've been scouting our opponent. They've been playing some exciting football. The biggest thing when you take a look at the Golden Lions, they're playing with a lot of confidence. When you can correct things with W's after the correction, it always gives you that high level of confidence. And then, I guess for lack of better words, they feel the monkey that's been on their back, they had a chance to beat them early. So, a lot of times they think, well, okay, we took care of Southern, now we took care of Grambling. We're on our way. We're on our way, but Prairie View is still in the West. Prairie View is still in the West, and we feel good about what we're doing, and it's going to be an exciting football game. I can't wait. It's going to be exciting. It's the one to watch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely going to be the one to watch, that game. As a matter of fact, it's a late kickoff. It's a, 6:30 kickoff, right, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And with that being said, and all that does, it allows the adrenaline to build up a little bit more as they'll be in the quote-unquote prime time of Saturday night football. and we're excited to see how this thing is going to unfold. Now, we know they have a young quarterback who's been having some great success, and they've been having a good balanced run attack. What are some of the keys that you're going to have to see for your defense to keep these guys with short fields and long distance for executing and to get that offense back on the field?
Well, it's no question. You know, a lot of times you go into the game and say that you have to shut down the run because that's what team does. But we're going to have to be able to shut down the passing and stop the quarterback from getting out and scrambling. He's a guy that can beat you with his legs. So we know we got to play physical and we got to play assignment sound football. We got to get off the field on third downs. We got to get off the field on third downs, and we can't allow any big plays.
Okay. And with that, when we flip to the offensive side for the Panthers, do you have who your designated starter will be at the quarterback position, or is that something still in the air right now?
It's still in the air. We got guys that's playing, and I know it just seems like I'm just holding back on it, but we compete every day, Mike Prince. We compete every day, and those guys know it. You know, what you did yesterday allowed you to start early today. Now, what you do today going to continue to start, and they understand that, and they love the competition. They invite the competition. But you know, we got two young men that's been doing a great job for us. Some, you know, want to live ahead of the other guy, and we're going to hang our hat on a couple of guys that are going to do well. But you can expect to see Trayvon make no business about it, and you can expect to see T.J. Starks. Those young men doing a good job. I think they understand their role. They like what they're doing, and our team feeding off it.
Okay. Now, is it possible, Coach, that we could see both of them on the field at the same time?
The athletes, that's the thing you like about it. You recruit athletes. That's the thing you like about it. You know, guys.
You bobbed and weaved on me on that one, Coach. You said they athletes, but no, I like that. You got to give me an A for effort for trying, right?
Absolutely. I know. See, I already know. I've been here now. I know Mike Prince, good guy. I know he loves the Lord, but I know he can come at me. So I got to be ready. You got to be ready.
Hey, I'm not coming at you in vengeance, Coach. I just come at because inquiry minds like to know, man. I tell you, I get phone calls, text messages, emails. Folks think I'm the athletic director. And for the record, Coach, let the folks know, am I on the payroll at Prairie View?
You're not, but you're supposed to come at me because that's your job. That's not an issue. See, when you do your job, there's never a problem. Everybody have a job they got to do. So as a head coach, I got to expect certain questions. So I understand that. It comes with the territory.
Well, I appreciate you being a good sport about it. We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline with head football coach Eric Dooley of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Now, with the weight of this game coming up, a lot of people are looking at the schedule, and they said April 24th, the next opponent on paper is Jackson State. But there could be a wrinkle in that due to how Southern fares off with their next opponent at the state, not the State Fair Classic, but the Bayou Classic with Grambling. Now, if you're in the scoreboard watching, if it's a perfect world, Prairie View beats Pine Bluff, Grambling beats Southern, case is over with. It's move on. And then the game of Jackson State becomes still on the board, but it's not as significant. But in the event that Southern wins, it could be that the Jackson State game is omitted and you have to play Southern to see who would represent the West in the championship game. Do I have that half right?
I will say this here. Let me comment in this way right here. I just know April 17th, the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. That one game at a time. That's
Absolutely.
all I need right there.
Absolutely.
Here, I'm preparing for University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Now, however, whatever takes place, we got to be ready. We know within this pandemic season that Alabama A&M was supposed to play a certain opponent. They wound up playing South Carolina State, who's not even in the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Right.
But they were ready. That's the bottom line. You just got to be ready. It doesn't matter whoever the commissioner put on the tab. We just got to line up and play for 60 minutes.
Yes, sir.
And honestly, it doesn't matter to me. We welcome to play. We just want to play football.
I know that's right. And it's been, what they say, stop and go, up and down for the spring semester. And I know it's still football, but it's not quite like that fall feeling, is it, Coach?
It's not like the fall feeling, but I got that old saying with me, be thankful for what God has given you thus far. So we just continue to keep moving on and not worried about what's going to take place. And we know that things are the whole world. Prairie View not the only school that's going through it. It's the whole world. So we understand that it's nothing different. But I just want to put those Panthers on the field so that the Panther Nation can see them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Panther Nation is chopping at the bit to see what the Dooley-led Panthers are going to do, and we're excited on the position that the Panthers are in. That's what you came for, was to win championships and to get over that hump, if you will. Now, are you feeling any added pressure from that, Coach?
Well, you know, my thing is I don't think anyone can pressure me more than I pressure myself. I'm very, very competitive. I'm competitive in everything that I do. So it's no question about it. But you know what? You got to invite that when you're competitive. You got to invite that pressure to come on. You know, you got to understand that pressure. And then you just got to be built that way.
Yes, sir. Say built to last. Almost sound like a truck commercial there, man. You built to last. Now, Coach, I know that you said you had a chance for guys to get healthy. Without going into major detail, what's the status on Goldwater?
Well, unfortunately, Goodwater is out. He did have a slightly I won't say a break, but something that will keep him out for the rest of the season, and we feel good that we can get through about, because it's always about the betterment of the young man, and I think it's better suit that he hold out and get healthy, because fall is around the corner. I know we closed the door in the spring, but the fall is around the corner with way more football games. So that's just the approach that we have with him. He's in good spirits. He's always around. He's with the team. He's traveling with me. He's doing everything that needs to be, because he's one of our football players. So I can't state that. I normally don't discuss if a guy is injured or going to be out, but he's going to be out. But we like what we got back at and back to.
Okay, very good. Now, I heard you say you're kind of projecting him toward the fall. He should have enough time to recover, you're estimating, by the fall season?
Absolutely. He'll be ready for fall camp.
Okay, very good, very good. And with that being said, we know there was some high risk and some high rewards of playing spring ball and the short turnaround that you would have. Do you have, and I know you're taking one game at a time, but do you have in your mind at least how you're going to approach to enter the fall coming off of spring season, which is something that none of these guys have ever done before?
Yeah, we looked at it and we took a look at it, and I can say that, it's kind of like having those 15 days of practice, where you practice for about 7 times and you go on spring break, and then you come back and get the other 8. So we taking that approach. But, my strength and conditioning coach does a good job with those young men, and those young men is in great physical shape, and they understand the nature of it. So we understand how to be smart to our bodies. So we're going to move forward. We got the biggest thing was to get depth. And I think we got a lot of added depth, and we got more depth coming in the fall that's going to have us to be strong and ready for this fall season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And with that, you're going to even have some more heavy decisions to make after the spring season with some seniors and the tough choice of, do you keep them or do you give them their walking papers and say thank you and go out there and tackle the world?
And you're absolutely right. And those young men, we talk all the time. I talk to them as if they are my son. In life, you always got decisions to make. You got good ones and you got bad ones, but you got decisions to make. And our guys understand the way we approach every day. Every day of your life, you're on an interview. Every day of your life, you're on an interview. That's just the honest to God's truth. But those young men have done a great job. The biggest thing I'm excited about it, all those young men, I would say about 7 or 8 of them are going to graduate this semester right here. We even have 2 that's going to graduate from graduate school. So those young men, in my opinion, they did what they were supposed to do. They came in and beat the system. The reason why I say beat the system, I don't mean it in a bad way, in a good way. We're going to use you guys to win championships. You got to use us to win championships and get that degree. And that's what they're doing. That's a win-win situation for me. But that decision, those choices, the decision is going to come about at the end of this year here. The good thing about it, I talk to these young men about this here every day. Because my thing is, my job is to build quality young men to be successful. So, and with that being said, everything within my power, we should be okay. we would be okay.
Okay, very good. We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline with head football coach Eric Dooley of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. We're just about out of time, Coach, but we know that the peak of the schedule has been released. They released the homecoming date. But, Coach, could you at least give us not necessarily the dates, but who's on the schedule for the fall?
Yeah, we're actually gonna play Incarnate Word.
Okay.
We're gonna play Incarnate Word. We're gonna play Houston Baptist.
Wow, you got Houston Baptist to say yes?
Yeah, we're gonna play them, and then the other non-conference game, believe it or not, way towards the ending of the season is going to be Texas A&M.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We knew, and we knew that was kind of late. We saw that kind of odd. I think that was like a November 20th date or something like that.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I guess it was just the luck of the draw or the unfortunate luck of the draw, because usually in most cases, if you're preparing for postseason play, you want to have that game already miles behind you for health purposes, wouldn't you?
But here's my thing. Mike. We play football here at Prairie View. We put our pants on one leg at a time, just like they're going to do. So whoever we have to play, whatever week it is, we're going to line out and we're going to play football for 60 minutes. We don't understand. I understand the opponent is a much bigger opponent, but I like what we have. I like the guys that we had the opportunity to go out and recruit. And you know what? I'll line those guys up against anybody.
Sound like a plan to me, Coach. Now, Incarnate Word and Houston Baptist, which one will be at home and which one will we have to visit to?
Incarnate, if I can remember this right, Incarnate Word is going to be away and Houston Baptist is going to be home. It could be vice versa. Excuse me, I'm still on spring, but I do know it just from the back of my mind. It's kind of like that.
Okay, no problem. Either one is good. I've been crying and hollering to get Houston Baptist. I was saying that was just a logical fit. They played Texas Southern. Why not play Prairie View? And we've had some interaction with Incarnate Word. So that would be some intriguing matchups coming up in the near fall. Coach, I want to thank you so much, sir, for making yourself available with us. And, of course, we'll continue. We got past the Resurrection Sunday because I failed to mention that we had taken off. But, ladies and gentlemen, Coach has been a man of his word. He has been prompt and calling, and we're on the same page. And, Coach, if the creek don't rise and the Lord delays his coming, we'll do this again on next Sunday night if you're available, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we're going to give you some closing thoughts and comments, and the floor is now yours, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, you got the Prairie View. We've been up Panthers. We've been off for quite a while, but we haven't stopped working. We've still been grinding. I want you guys to tune in. This coming Saturday is going to be a big Western Division showdown, and that's how it should be. And the Panthers should be deeply involved in it. Come out, and if you can get down there to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and support us. But if you're not there, I know that you'll be watching it by streaming, whatever, and then we hope to bring that victory back to you guys.
Well, Coach, we are, as they say, counting on that to take care of itself, and we got all the confidence in the world that you're going to get out there and make it happen. He is Coach Eric Dooley of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, getting ready for a showdown, a Western showdown against the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Coach, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, sir. Have a blessed week, and we'll talk to you real soon, okay?
Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you for being on board. Coach Eric Dooley and the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, they say getting ready for the showdown. And we're going to get ready for the showdown here in just a moment. We're going to take a real quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have some closing thoughts and comments on everything that has transpired here in the world of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Keep where you got it. We'll be right back. Programming updates for the Open Mic Broadcast Network. You can listen to the Mike Prince Show each and every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can also listen to the Mike Prince Show live on Sunday evenings, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Carlos Brown Show is featured on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Join us for our live sermons from the Temple of Refuge Ministries, Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time by dialing 857-777-0000. The Open Mic Broadcast Network
serving the community through faith and athletics. It's SWAC Sunday baseball coverage exclusively on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Join us each week during the regular season of the Southwest Athletic Conference as we bring you exclusive SWAC baseball coverage. You can join in by dialing 857-777-0000 or by dialing 857-777-0004. SWAC Baseball Sunday afternoon broadcast exclusively on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of another show here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. What a show it was. Coach Connell Maynor of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs still leaving a trail, simply on fire. Coach Eric Dooley had some gas behind him on tonight. A lot going on. We didn't get a chance to even go over half of what we wanted to talk about, which is why it's the gift that keeps on giving. You can join us tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. is the scheduled and desired time for another episode of the Mike Prince Show here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Thanking our guests again, Coach Maynor and Coach Dooley, for joining in with us on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. Thanking our sponsors, Reflections Paint and Body Shop of Waller, Texas, Hempstead Attorney at Law, Lee Van Richardson, the Prairie View Athletic Club. Also want to thank Helping Hands Lawn Service for residential and commercial services. And we want to let you know that Brazos Valley has 13 different locations to better serve you if you have any financial need or support. I am going to exit stage left right now. My time is far spent. Don't forget, you can join us on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.